What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzlies, home of Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today, we are going to be talking about the KD trade. Yes, the Kevin Durant trade. But we're not talking about Memphis getting him. We're talking about Memphis taking advantage in the margins. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
KeyAno.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops, so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Demorous back in let's go.
Well, I hope you are enjoying your 4th of July 3-day weekend. Summer League starts Tuesday. California Classic is going on as I speak. And the Kevin Durant trade saga has brought the NBA to a screeching halt. Free agency has slowed down. Other trades have slowed down. Everybody is kind of in a holding pattern for Kevin Durant. So, what are the Grizzlies doing? Well, if you know, the Grizzlies have only signed Tyus Jones, re-signed him, brought him back 2 years, $30 million, I believe, and signed their rookies, signed their two-ways, and are getting ready for Summer League. And it's looking like a quiet offseason for the Grizzlies. Now, whether it is, whether it isn't, I don't know. Jaren Jackson is out for 4 to 6 months with surgery on his stretch fracture to his right foot. The Grizzlies still have Ja Morant, who was signed for 5 years, and they have Desmond Bane, so we're going to be all right. But what about the Kevin Durant trade? Should the Grizzlies get involved? Well, I had some Kevin Durant trades from the Grizzlies earlier, but I don't think the Grizzlies are going to get involved in that. I don't think they really define sustained success as trading all their draft picks and a young player or two for a 34-year-old, no matter how great he is. The Grizzlies are in this for the long haul. But how can the Grizzlies take advantage of the Kevin Durant trade? Well, there's several players that could be involved in this trade that I do like. But one in particular that I do like, the fit for the Grizzlies, is on the Phoenix Suns. So why do I say the Phoenix Suns? Well, according to Vegas, and Vegas has been the best predictor of NBA moves so far this offseason. According to Vegas, the Phoenix Suns are still in the lead for Kevin Durant's services. However, Brooklyn does not like some of the return that they can get from Phoenix. I'm pretty sure they love Mikal Bridges, but they do not like DeAndre Ayton. And some of the other players around the league, like that are on the 5-year rookie designated extensions, conflict with Mr. Ben Simmons, who's already on the Brooklyn Nets, and they wouldn't be able to take one of those guys. So it's going to be a complicated, probably multi-team trade, 3, 4, maybe even 5-team trade. And parts are going to be going here and there for the Brooklyn Nets to gather up enough assets to make themselves feel better about trading Kevin Durant. This is sort of like what happened with the James Harden trade. If you remember the James Harden trade, Philly didn't quite have enough. Brooklyn didn't quite have enough for Houston to be satisfied with the amount of picks that they were getting. And they traded Jared Allen in the trade. Houston did not want him, so they let Jared Allen go somewhere else, and they received pick compensation. So this is where the Grizzlies come in this trade, in my opinion. The Grizzlies have Danny Green's $10 million contract. That's really nothing but a $6.9 million contract. It can be either or, depending on what your needs are for the trade. They have Killian Tilly's contract. That gets them up to $12 million. So if they want to be able to take back a larger contract or a long-term contract in order to get something and give a pickup, they might can pick up something that's a long-term asset for them. So the person I propose, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, is Cam Johnson of the Phoenix Suns. Now, Cam Johnson is 26-year-old, 6'7", 6'8" forward. Came out of North Carolina. He was an older senior when he came in the league about 22, 23 years old. And he is what I call a real shooter. Now, there's a lot of guys that are floor spacers. There's a lot of guys that can shoot in the NBA. But he is what I call a real shooter, a guy that can get his shot off the dribble, off curls, off movement, off everything. He's getting that shot off. And he's got the size and the length to be able to get it off under duress. Very similar to Desmond Bane, just not as dynamic as Desmond Bane, but a real shooter like Desmond Bane. If you leave him open, it's in. You're surprised when he misses. So, how can the Grizzlies take advantage? Well, obviously, the assets aren't lining up in this trade. The Brooklyn Nets either aren't giving enough or are asking for too much. So, they are obviously going to want more picks or more young players or whatever its cost is. Now, for Cameron Johnson, there's not much I would give up in the player category. Maybe John Conchar, maybe Xavier Tillman, maybe something like that. This is Memphis X with iTalkHoops. While you're here, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications so you will be alerted to all the new videos I have coming up during this NBA offseason. We have a goal on this channel to get to 1,000 subscribers before the new season starts, and I'm going to need your help to get there. Thank you. So, the most I would give for Cameron Johnson would be in the form of pick compensation. And I would keep it simple. Danny Green's $6.9 million for Cameron Johnson, and the Grizzlies throw in one first, maybe the Golden State Warriors first, and what I like to call a fake first. Something that's like top 23 protected or top 22 protected, and becomes the two second rounders the next year. And I would probably make it 2024, maybe, or 2025, and just have that pick it's top whatever protected. So if it's a late first round pick, they get it. And if it's not, then it becomes 2 second round picks. And that's it. A first and 2 second round picks. So let's say the Warriors first and then a fake Grizzlies first for Cameron Johnson. And we giving Danny Green, who they can subjectly waive and stretch, and it'll cost them $2-something million on their cap sheet for the next 3 years. And that'll be it. And what will that give the Grizzlies? The Grizzlies will then have 2 elite shooters on the team, one in Desmond Bane starting and one in Cameron Johnson coming off the bench. Now, the only issue with that is immediately the Grizzlies would have to sign Cameron Johnson to an extension, and I guess that would be worked out prior to the trade on what he would want as far as his number. I don't know what it would be for Cameron Johnson. I imagine something in the range of what Kevin Huerter got from Atlanta when he was in restricted free agency. And that is, what was he getting? About $14 million, I think. I think that's what Kevin Huerter was getting. Kevin Huerter, let's see. Let's look what he got from Atlanta. Kevin Huerter was getting, $15 to $16 million. Started out at $14 million and ended up at 17, almost $18 million. So I think that's about a fair contract for Cam Johnson. He's 26 years old. He performed pretty well in the playoffs. His defense is not too elite in the playoffs, but it's good enough. But the floor spacing he would provide for Ja Morant, if he ever gets on, anytime he's on the court with Desmond Bane, would be elite. Now, and it looks to fit that mold that the Grizzlies look for in the playoffs. Guys, big forwards who can shoot, pass, and dribble. This is what the Grizzlies are looking for. Guys in the 6'6", the 6'8" range who can do all that, the dribble, pass, and shoot guys. So I think Cam Johnson would fit in, and he seems like to be a good Grizzlies culture guy. So that's it. That's what I propose the Grizzlies do in the Kevin Durant trade. I don't propose that they give up their either Jaren Jackson or Desmond Bane, or both, plus picks in a Kevin Durant trade. I suggest that they sit around on the periphery and snipe Cameron Johnson from the Phoenix Suns to add another elite shooter to Ja Morant's arsenal of weapons. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit the bell for notifications, like this video, and share it with your fellow NBA fans. Until next video, tomorrow we're doing a Summer League preview.